So we've got a question to ask a coach asking about if an aim trainer is recommended if you want to improve aim. And the obvious answer is yes. If you want to improve at a skill, the best way to go about it is to isolate it and train it. So obviously, an aim trainer is the best way to improve your raw aim. However, if you want to improve mechanics in general in Valorant, there are other aspects that go into that, such as peeking technique, movement, and crosshair placement. So while you may become an aim demon, you won't necessarily notice one-to-one gains from aim to mechanics because aim is just a small part of mechanics as a whole. However, since this is about aim training, I will go into how I like to aim train. I'm just going to demonstrate this with aim labs. I like to use these 5 tasks: headshot, motion track, 6-shot, micro shot, and grid shot. The point of headshot is that you get to train on a purely vertical axis. You can also do this in the range, by the way. Point of motion track is that you get to do small tracking movements after shooting a target. You can also do this with strafe track. However, I suck at strafe track, so I just don't do it. Then we've got 6-shot. This is great for training your precision with aiming because the targets are really small. So I like to do this in a flick followed by a micro flick and just train that. Micro shot is similar to 6-shot, but the targets are very close and you reset to the middle every time. You can do this on precision as well to give yourself an extra challenge. And grid shot I just have in there for fun. So I'm going to quickly play through each task, first of which being headshot. I'll just go in them in the order that they are in my favorites list. Now, I'm not really going to try my hardest because, 1, I have nothing to prove, and 2, I don't really care about aim training. All you need to know is that this level of aim got me to Immortal, and that's it. I'm not like an impressive aimer or anything. I think when I was aim training like a year and a half ago, I was like Emerald 2 in the aim labs ranks. I don't know if that's good or bad, but like pretty sure that's what I was. Although it was massively boosted by like the cognition tasks or whatever. I also can't really go full tryhard mode because my monitor is to my left, and usually when I game, it's where the face cam is, and I put the face cam way up and have it stare down at me. But whatever. Next, we've got motion track. You can also do the other version of this task, motion shot. However, I personally think it's better to work on the tracking with 1 or 2 tasks. I think motion shot leads to a lot of crosshair leading, which can be helpful at times, but there are better tasks for that if you think that's a problem that you need to work on. But I don't think 99.9% of people will need to work on that problem. Next, we've got 6-shot. Again, this is just smaller targets. Next, we got 6-shot. Again, this is just smaller targets. And it's good for training your micro flicks because you need to be more precise. Also, if you're like me and you wiggle around a lot when you shoot, you might want to try out line trace or multi-line trace. Those are good tasks. I used to have really bad habits of curving while I was aiming, so I'd go like this. I don't know why, but it's what I did. And doing line trace really forced me out of that habit because you got to stay in the line for a good score. I hate that it goes so far up and down. If I were doing this and I actually cared, I'd restrict the range such that there would be less like up and down movement because this is just super unrealistic. My hand never has to do this for Valorant. Next, we've got micro shot. There's like 6-shot, but on a much smaller scale and with bigger targets, unless you do precision mode. This is also like one that I just kind of do for fun. I mean, it's helpful, but I also just like hearing it go boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? All right, enough of that. And now we move on to the fun task that everyone knows aim labs for, grid shots. And I just have this on here for fun. Typically, when I run this playlist, I'll run like 3 of each task. It takes 15 minutes and call it a day. That's really all you need for aim training. It's not super intensive, you know. Aim matters in Valorant, but it's not the thing that's gonna win you fights. If you have radiant aim, but iron movement and crosshair placement, you're gonna lose all your fights. So it's important to be a balanced player. The thing I like to remind people of is the fact that I went from bronze to diamond knowing nothing about mechanics at all. Purely game sense, comms, and mental. And then I did aim training, and that's got me from diamond 1 to immortal 1 in episode 5, Act 1, pretty pretty quickly. However, it wasn't just aim that I worked on. I also was coached and learned about movement and crosshair placement and peeking techniques. And I even learned a fair bit of stuff about agent stuff that, oh shit, high score. I even learned a fair bit about agent stuff that I didn't know. So it's really about being a well rounded player. So to recap for y'all, aim is cool and all. And if you're going to do aim training, I suggest taking those 5 tasks and just doing like death matches focused on a certain aspect of your mechanics. But do keep in mind, Valorant has a lot of skills involved in it. Everything from agent macro, micro to map knowledge to knowing how to clutch up to having good comms to being mentally strong to having good aim to movement to crosshair placement, all sorts of things. So I wouldn't worry too much about aim. Just do a quick little 15-minute routine, call it a day.